Well, hello. It is peak week. Peak week, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I'm 1 day into peak week. We are almost 5 days out from the show. I guess technically six because the show is Saturday and today is Sunday. 6 days away from my very first NPC bikini show. Oh my gosh. 20 weeks ago, if you would have told me I would be here and kind of still happy, I don't know if I would have believed you, and certainly not 10 weeks ago, and certainly not 4 weeks ago. But here we are. So let's talk about how I'm feeling and how it's going. So if this is the first video that you have stumbled across of mine, go watch the rest of them. What are you even doing? I have undergone a 20-week prep and a 30-week grow season before that, almost a whole entire year getting ready for my very first NPC bikini bodybuilding show. I am just a regular mom from Middle Georgia who likes to lift weights and wanted to do something cool. And I did it. So, what are we doing this week? Super secret things, because peaking protocols are very individualized and very specific to the coach. And it is really a lot of manipulating and thinking and work for the coach. So we're just doing some things. The gist of it is I am taking this week to kind of finish my, final preparations. So that means like kind of trying to get my stress under control. We'll talk about that in a minute. Letting my body kind of recover. Still training, but cardio is starting to come down a little bit. Training has changed a little bit just so we can let my body rest, get rid of some, last minute, inflammation and water that my body might be holding, and just be ready to go show off what I've done in 5 or 6 more days. So we're leaving for the show on Friday. And yeah, we'll get there. I will get my first layer of spray tan. I will check in. I will do my best to document all of this over on my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram yet, that's where you're going to see all of the nitty gritty show things. So my Instagram handle is fit.ash.crna. So make sure you go and follow me over there so you can see the showy things. What else are we doing? Trying to get my nerves under control. So I've been doing less gym work. I mean, I'm still doing some work, but less. So I've had a lot of time to kind of just more time to be in my head about things. And so that's when, these little voices start to pop up like, you don't know what you're doing. You're not going to be ready. You don't look as good as you think you do. That voice that needs to just be slapped every once in a while. So I'm trying to really quiet that down. I am getting nervous about going out on stage. And we always teach my daughter that scared feelings and, nervous feelings also feel the same as excited feelings. And so you just should channel that to excitement. So I'm really trying to practice what I parent, but it's hard. So I am trying to silence any kind of imposter syndrome that I'm feeling, because I have done a lot of work and I have lived this sport or hobby or whatever you want to call it for over a year, and I am ready to show off my hard work. Simple as that. And like on that, so interestingly enough, I don't know how much you guys follow this sport, but this past weekend was the 60th Olympia. And that's like the Olympics of bodybuilding, the best of the best, top physiques in the entire world. And it's really fun to watch. If you haven't watched it, I suggest stream it at least one time. It's really cool. It was in Las Vegas this year, but I had watched it for the first time last year. And last year I had just kind of, gotten bodybuilding on my radar, and I was watching it thinking, like, I think this is something I could do. And then to be a whole year later, done with a prep and getting ready for a show is just, man, the world and life is just crazy how it can come full circle. And I just had a couple really proud moments, just kind of sitting in that and, remembering how I felt and where I was last year to how I felt and where I am this year was just so nice to just be in for a little bit, when the nerves weren't talking. So how else am I feeling? Okay, so I am already prepping my skin for the spray tan. So that's a lot of just like exfoliation, moisturizing for right now. And then later on in the week, it kind of changes where you can't really wear deodorant. You have to really make sure your skin is kind of like dry and ready to accept the spray tan. So I look the best that I can, because the spray tan is going to help show my lines from my muscle, because the stage lights are going to wash it out, and it's just kind of like everything gets washed out, so you have to kind of put some color back on. So I'm just doing everything I can for that, and then just controlling what I can control. So that is posing, review, and teeing up little things, trying to remember every single thing I'm supposed to do while I'm up there posing. We'll see how that goes. And then just packing, and that's it. I've got daily check-ins now with my coach, which is a little bit tedious but necessary so we can make the most appropriate adjustments. And I've got 2 more days of work, and then that's it. It's just time to get ready and get fancy for the show. And I think that's it. Oh, other feelings. This is just for documentation, really, for myself. And I guess if anyone's like curious how you feel on a bodybuilding prep, other than hungry, because duh. So the biggest things right now are the fatigue is still very high, especially towards the end of the day. And it's crazy, because it's usually right around when I need to eat. So I'm trying to eat every 2 to 3 hours. And so I can 100% absolutely tell when it is time for me to eat and when I have eaten, because my energy levels are completely different. It doesn't last long. So I'm trying to really time my training and my cardio around when I'm eating, so I have the energy to do it, because it's just like full battery, dead. And then I eat, and then I don't know if it ever gets really full, but medium battery, and then and then it's time to eat, and I don't have any more energy again. Still having to get some steps. Like, there's still some work to be done and not a lot of energy to do it. So the fatigue, whole nother level. I don't know. The best I can compare it to is like, if you, most of you probably have not ever been pregnant because you're boys, but if you can remember, anyone who's in like that first trimester, just fatigue from pregnancy, that is the closest thing. And it's even worse than that, but that's the closest thing that I can explain that the fatigue is. And then, like, yes, I'm hungry, but I've kind of gotten used to that. My food is going up slowly. And so that's been helping a lot, because now we have to fill up muscles that we've depleted, and hopefully they're still there. And then I am freezing cold. I have probably been freezing cold for, I don't know, 10 to 15 weeks. It just keeps getting worse. And we have had these gorgeous fall days in Georgia. And in the mornings, oh my gosh, I'm wearing a sweater now, and it's like 70 degrees outside, like a 90-year-old lady. But I also don't have any body fat, and I probably have the same body fat as a 90-year-old lady. So anyway, I am just like bundled up in blankets and slippers, and it's just ridiculous. I guess hopefully that'll get better as I put on a little more body fat, but we still have a couple weeks to go. So, and that's really it. So I did a little cardio session this morning. I'm going to go do a shorter one here in just a second while I've got that 30 grams of carb energy that I had for lunch, and get my steps in, chill, get my luggage out, because y'all, I am the worst procrastinator about packing, especially if it's something I am nervous about, because like when we start packing, we're going, you know. And it's a lot. Like, I've got stuff, I've got to get my stage stuff, my weekend stuff. We're spending a day at a theme park afterwards with my family who's coming to watch the show. And so I have like a lot of different things. I got to get my daughter packed. There's a lot of things going on. So if nothing else, I'm going to make a list today, because I'm a list person, and I'm better at packing last minute, but this is a lot of stuff and I don't want to forget it. So, and then there's food I have to bring and like all kinds of stuff to like strategically feed myself for the show day. So it's easy to get overwhelmed, but I'm really trying to manage that, because stress is the enemy of this last little bit of peak. So, thank you guys for helping me be accountable. Thank you for tuning in, because I never thought anybody would even watch this or care to watch this. So shoot me some good looks, and make sure you go follow me on Instagram. I will update here when I can. This is probably going to be the last Sunday video until not next Sunday, but the next Sunday, because I'll be in between shows that next Sunday, and we'll be right before another peak, and we can talk about, like, I'll probably do an interview with my daughter and my husband about how they thought the show went, what they liked, what they didn't like, things like that, so you can see how it is for the spectators. And then I'll talk about my coach a little bit and the team and how that went, because I think I've been respectful enough. Go a couple videos back and see what's going on with that. But it's time to give credit where it's due, which is mostly to me. Anyway, all right. And so make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you can get the first new video update after the shows. Follow me on Instagram, again, fit.ash.crna, because you're going to see all the things and up to the minute, you know, results and things like that. So if you don't want to wait until 2 more Sundays from now, make sure you're following. Like these videos, share these playlists. It's a whole, you know, first prep ever playlist. Share it with someone who's thinking about doing bodybuilding, just starting their first prep. It's kind of towards the end of this show season, but it'll be ramping up again after the holiday season. And I am so excited to let you guys know what happens and how amazing it is, because no matter what happens, it is going to be amazing, because I have done just something I never thought even possible ever in life. So happy Sunday. Look for me on Instagram. Send up a couple prayers for me for the show, and let's hope I bring home some fun things. Bye.